trapping carbon through the act of photosynthesis and pushing it down into the soil through the roots of the plants is the only way that we can turn around the damage that us humans have done.
They're not the first words you'd expect to hear from a farmer's mouth. But the Breen family see the world differently.
So we've always had a drive to do something, contribute something, help people, and I suppose that transferred so easily to environment and animals.
7 years ago, this was all foreign to Randal and Juanita, a couple of social workers from the city in need of an escape.
Probably got a bit burnt out. Took a break from city life and bought a little block of dirt.
Starting with 250 hens and a dream.
Looking into regenerative agriculture and what we call stacked integrated farming and how we can incorporate different animals to work together. And from there, well, the rest is kind of history.
Moving their burgeoning operation here to Echo Valley, not far from Warwick, on the edge of the Great Dividing Range, with a mission.
Agroecology is another way to describe it, is trying to work in harmony with the landscape, with the nature that you're with. Using
a model called holistic plan grazing, their 70 cattle are constantly on the move.
Behind them, we'll bring our chickens in their mobile trailers and they'll come along and they'll clean up the manure, take out the parasites, leave behind their manure as a fertiliser, priming the soil. And then when they leave, we'll come in and if we need to, we'll plant a multi-species cover crop. So that means we've got a whole heap of diverse plant species growing together, which feeds the soil microbes.
Before the pigs play their part too, their feed recycled food waste.
They work as our four-legged compost bins, processing that food into manure and fertility in our soil.
Soil and the plants that grow from within it, forgotten superheroes in our fight to save the planet.
We can offer millions of dollars for someone who invents some sort of carbon sequestering machine, but they already exist, and that's plants. And that relationship between plants and animals is what activates that carbon sequestration.
So central to every decision they make on the farm is what they call the 4 goods.
So say we're wanting to do something new on the farm or we're trying to decide on things we want to do, we'll come back to these 4 goods. And the 4 goods are, is what you're wanting to do good for the animal? Is it good for the land? Is it good for the farmer? And ultimately, is it good for the person that we're feeding?
And those 4 goods are now feeding 100 families a month.
We have an amazing community around us. Our CSA program, which is our community supported agriculture program, they effectively are our little cheer squad.
Customers who care about where their food is coming from and the people bringing it to their plates. And through the recent drought, that bond has never been more important.
We would just get these $50 deposits in our bank account and we're like, what is this? And it was one of our CSA members just saying, here's $50 towards a bale of hay. And you know, we didn't have to ask for that. It was them committing and believing in what we're doing.
Not just mum and dad, but the whole Breen family.
I love just interacting with all the animals and finding like a happy place with all of them.
And while it does mean long days in the paddock, for Bridie and Eli, tending to the chooks isn't a chore, it's a choice they're proud of, a deep, innocent desire to look after the land they call home.
It's just so much more different to everyone else. Like having the chickens out 24/7, they can do whatever they want, just changes the whole aspect of it.
We really want to take back the old land.
So what can we do? Well, it's simple. Whether you're a farmer, supplier or consumer, Randal asks for the same commitment.
Is to become a patient, attentive observer and build an intimate relationship with your landscape, with the animals that you live with, and with the community in which you're part of. And if we do that, if we slow down, we be patient and we observe, we're going to come to a conclusion that we have to work with nature, not against it.